the Dr. Love Show. Imi and Dr. Love, Hillary.
You're welcome.
I thought you're supposed to say, let's make love, not war. You know, we were baffled by the adult breastfeeders. We are supposed to be celebrating the breastfeeding week that is supposed to be between 1 August to 7 August. It actually goes on in 170 countries across, and Uganda is one of them. But it seems like our fellow adult Ugandans might be confused on how to actually celebrate breastfeeding week, because we have adults who are actually breastfeeding and they are ignoring the fact that there is a child somewhere who actually needs this breast milk. Dr. Love, what are we supposed to say, that the priority is to the adult breastfeeders or to the baby breastfeeders?
Certainly, the breast milk is for the infants, for the babies. And I actually went on and did some research among my male peers of different ages. I can tell you now authoritatively that an adult man will not like the breast milk. Those who are reportedly liking it are either obsession or they were lied about. So the breast milk really is for babies. For men, it is going to be the exception.
You see, it's a bit baffling because we have women who refuse to breastfeed. Personally, I have my 3 babies that I have breastfed, and it's always painful when they have to wean themselves. The first one just stopped at 6 months. Do you have an idea how I cried like a baby? Just I wake up and then the child just refuses to take my breast milk. It felt so bad. I felt so rejected. I felt like he was communicating a series of hatred to me. So I am wondering, while people like I do exist, there are those who just refuse to breastfeed their children. So do you have an explanation as to why some women would refuse to breastfeed their children, or just breastfeed a little? 1 week is okay.
Okay, sorry about that a kid rejected the breast. My mother told me I rejected it myself. Maybe that's why I love breasts in my adult life.
You do?
My experience with my own children is that we had to literally force them off. Do all sorts of things, put paper, put them on gunpoint, threaten them, and they put up their fight and lost. And then your reaction is also interesting. You felt rejected.
Yeah.
And so when you come in my arena of love, I think you are very emotional. You love your breast and you want people to notice. And when they don't, they reject it. Hurts you personally, and your baby showed us that. But yes, there are women who will not breastfeed for as long as they should. And there are 2 reasons. The default is that they know the breast contains the milk for the baby, and the baby needs it for nurturing. And it's a woman's pride to nurture. They were made, they were wired to nurture offspring. But then that often contradicts with their own selfish aim of keeping the breast young, fresh, and upright, pointed.
In Uganda, they call it a tutu. I mean, you know, we have issues even wearing bras. My mother actually had to fight with me to wear a bra. I actually was obsessed with that pointed boob, and I know men actually also like it.
Yeah,
but you lose that point when you start breast.
Succulent. Is it succulent breast? Now, women know the power of the breasts to men, and those who have seen it work, seen it thread men, seen it beat up paths as they come, then they watch it disappear in the evening, in its sunset, as several children have circled it. It is disappearing into retirement. It is no longer putting men on gunpoint. It's now looking at their feet.
Oh yeah.
they feel bad. Okay, there's a psychological reaction to that. But now the younger girls feel, no, I wouldn't want my breast to be like my mama's or my
So I won't breastfeed this baby.
And one of the causes is breastfeeding. So they breastfeed a little bit until the baby is able to take other foods or bottle or whatever, in order to prolong the life of a succulent breast.
Okay, you know there is another way you can breastfeed babies. Like us working mothers, you know, here in Uganda, unlike other countries, the working mother leaves the child after the child is 3 months and you have to come back to work, but you also want the child to continue breastfeeding. So we are forced to find other means. Wet nurses are not that an option right here, but it is coming up, you know. Actually, in Zambia has started doing it. They have a section where they do the neonatal care for children who are born before the prematures, and then now they are finding an option of welcoming breastfeeding mothers who have so much or some time that they can give these kids milk. Okay, now but for us, we pump. Now when you pump, apparently they say when you pump you get to feed the child, but your breast doesn't sag. So is that like an option mothers should look into? If the men want to suckle, you pump for the man, give him the milk, then you give the breast to the child.
Okay, it's a good alternative, but for me, I think, you see, it is natural for mankind to hold on to life. You'll find people getting old, but they are trying so hard to live young, to be young. That breast will grow old, whether you want it or not, whether you don't breastfeed or not, whether you maybe, I don't know, get iron bars and put down to keep it cemented, it will grow old. The only thing I can advise is that when it is still in its gunpoint shape, slay people, use it, enjoy it,
throw it around.
Yeah, when it goes, you will enjoy your memories.
So basically, we women fear to breastfeed the children because our breasts will sag. But wouldn't the man breastfeeding, this adult man breastfeeding your boob, make the boob sag even more?
Maybe it does, but I really still don't believe that the breastfeeding man is going to breastfeed like a baby.
They do. I've actually read that these men, there are some who have that, they have refused to live their childhood, or possibly they didn't get so much attention, and then when they grow up as men, it's more like the baby has come, the baby is taking our space, I need my wife close to me, so I will breastfeed as that baby breastfeeds. We've taken it exclusively far to look at the child as the enemy. What are the chances that the man is actually competing for attention with the child? So it's more like, baby junior, you're there, you're fighting for mommy, but we shall fight, you and I, in the ring.
In Ankole we have a saying that you are dwelling too much on the soup when the meat is there. A strategic person goes for the meat. Okay,
and the meat is?
Now this is darkness. I have my wife in my bedroom, in my bed. The soup is the breast and stuff like that. So why dwell so much on the soup when the meat is there? For men, there is no time. These days we need to wake up early and do all ABCD. So those men who leave the meat and keep on the soup, you have to need soup. So you need the breast as part of the package. But the breast is not the package. The breast is the road to the gates. You leave the gates and you keep watching through the window. Those kinds of men are few and should not be our subject. Men who breastfeed maybe reports, because you see when a man bites a dog, it becomes news.
Yeah.
But they are not the majority. I doubt if among our viewers there are men who breastfeed and say, no, I will kill someone if you get me off the
They are not the majority, but they are causing a stir already. They are not allowing children to breastfeed, and they are close to us in this country. Not only where the minister cited, there are other areas.
I called the minister openly and I asked her, give me the statistics, give me the research that was done. She said, no, it was just a point of information. I was only reacting. You see, we don't know. Some women talk about, some women complain. So I used that. I asked the men, those I work with, those I drink with in the evening, you people, tell me who has breastfed. Tell me, okay, maybe they don't want to identify with it. And everyone was saying, yuck, breast milk. For me, even when my wife is breastfeeding, I don't want to share the bed because there is the way breast milk, I think, smells. But so, maybe there are few. Yes, you can keep the breast you can deny the kid the breast because you want it to keep slaying men. And then the kid suffers. But most suffering of babies, of lack of breast milk, is because women want to keep their femininity more than because women give it to the men. I think that has been my conclusion on the breast milk allegation. And actually,
Dr. Love, don't call it an allegation. Men out there, you guys are actually breastfeeding. Okay, possibly.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If I'm playing with your breast, maybe with my mouth and with my tongue, and some milk escapes into my mouth, have I breastfed or?
You accidentally breastfed. Do not comfort yourself. You actually breastfed. It's that simple. So, Dr. Love, that is your conclusion.